We now know who's playing for the CFP National Championship. It's the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Georgia Bulldogs. Most of us fans didn't want that, but it's what we got, so let's talk about it. What is up, college sports fans, fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Coos, and I'm coming to you once again from the hills of wild and wonderful Almost Heaven, West Virginia, and this is Coos' Corner. Before we break the game down, I want to ask, if you haven't yet, please hit the red subscribe button. It's absolutely free. It gets you easier access to my videos. I try to do several college sports videos a week. Also, if you like the video, give me the thumbs up button. That really helps the YouTube algorithm. Also, leave a comment in the comment box. What is your score prediction of the CFP National Championship game? I want to know. And also share this with your college sports loving friends. And be on the lookout. I've got my Patreon page started. I'm going to leave a link to it at the end, at the top of the screen. You can go on there and look at the different tiers to join. Get you access to contests that I'm going to have coming up after the first of the year. And a lot of exciting things to come. But as of today, Georgia is a 58% favorite to win according to ESPN. Bama's a 42% chance to win. And then Vegas has Georgia at -3 with over-under being 52.5. Now normally, I'll throw some team stats and some player stats at you. But since these two teams have already played before, and I did a preview video of that game, the SEC title game, I'll link to that video at the end. You can go to that video if you're a stats person. But what I do want to do is talk a little bit about the two CFP semifinal games and how that's going to translate into this championship game. And first, let's look at the Alabama-Cincinnati game. Obviously, the story of that game was Brian Robinson. He carried the ball 26 times for 204 yards, averaged 7.8 yards a carry. Just looked like a man among boys out there, was running like an absolute beast. Great story, Brian Robinson. Guy finally got his chance. Fifth-year senior, chose not to transfer out, waited his turn, and now look at him. Guy just had a game of his life. Bama's defense stepped up. Held Cincinnati to under 100 yards rushing. I think they ran for 74 yards. They had 6 quarterback sacks against Desmond Ridder. Will Anderson, my opinion, the best defensive player in the country, had 2 of those, 6 sacks. Just an all-around great defensive performance. Held Cincinnati to 6 points, no touchdowns, 2 field goals only. Just super performance. And they possessed the ball for over 33 minutes in the game because of their running ability and the success in the running game. Now, Bryce Young didn't have that great of a day statistically. I mean, he was efficient, but didn't have to throw the ball a whole lot. He was 17 out of 28, 181 yards, did have 3 touchdowns, and did have 1 pick. But they didn't really need Bryce Young as much because, like I said, the running game was working. Look at the Georgia-Michigan game. Obviously, Georgia dominated. We all know that. And they did it through the air with Stetson Bennett on offense. Stetson Bennett was 20 out of 30 for 313 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Great day for Stetson Bennett. May have shut some of his haters up. If not, he's got another chance to do that in the championship game. Can he get it done? Stay tuned. I'll tell you what I think. Georgia forced 3 Michigan turnovers. That was a big difference in the game. Georgia had, of the 3 turnovers, 2 of them were interceptions by Darion Kendrick. And then they forced a fumble. And they also sacked Michigan's quarterbacks 4 times. Now, and offensively, like I said, Stetson Bennett got it done through the air, but Georgia offensive line did a great job protecting him. Michigan had 0 sacks. We heard all about Aiden Hutchinson and that Michigan front 7, how good they were at sacking the quarterback and getting in the backfield. Didn't happen. Georgia's defense did a great job of keeping Stetson Bennett upright. And they're going to have to do that again against Alabama. But Michigan is not Alabama. Brock Bowers, got to give him a shout-out. Freshman tight end for Georgia. Caught 5 balls for 55 yards and a touchdown. Now, the keys to victory for each team. First, let's look at Georgia. On the defensive side, Georgia needs to get pressure on Bryce Young. Cincinnati was able to get a little pressure on Bryce Young. They got him to the ground twice, had 4 quarterback hurries, and that did impact the game. It did force him to throw the ball away a few times. So, can Georgia do that? They weren't able to do it in the SEC championship game, but they need to do it in this game if they want to win. And then those defensive backs for Georgia have got to do a better job covering the Alabama receivers. Now, John Mechie is going to be out. He's Alabama's top receiver as far as number of receptions go, but they do still have Jamison Williams. And then they've got 2 guys who really stepped up nice in Mechie's absence, in Ja'Cory Brooks and Slade Bolden. Those guys played pretty well against Cincinnati. So if those guys can step up, plus with Jamison Williams, can Georgia's secondary hold up? And then offensively for Georgia, That O-line has got to do exactly what they did against Michigan, and they've got to keep Stetson Bennett on his feet and protect him. If they give Stetson time to throw the ball, he might have some success. But if they don't, he's not going to. He's proven time and time. At least he proved in that SEC championship game that if he's under pressure and duress, he's a lot more prone to make mistakes. He's probably going to turn the ball over, and that's going to feed right into Alabama and what they want to do. Let's look at the keys to win for Alabama. Defensively, stop the Georgia run game. Because if they force Georgia to be one-dimensional, put the game in Stetson's hands, it will allow them to soften the box up, and it'll allow Will Anderson and that front seven to pin their ears back and go after Stetson Bennett, getting to him, making him rush, making him scramble, putting pressure on him, and hopefully forcing him into some mistakes if you're an Alabama fan. Which, like I said, once again, is the key to the game. And then offensively, Alabama needs to do the same thing they did in the SEC championship game. They need to protect Bryce Young, give him time to throw the football so that he can pick that Georgia secondary apart, because that's what he'll do if he's given time. And then they need to go up-tempo. If Bama can go up-tempo, what it does, it neutralizes that big defensive lineman in Jordan Davis. He's so heavy he can't play up-tempo a lot of plays at a time. It'll force Georgia to take him off the field and leave him off for multiple plays. So my score prediction. I do think this will be a closer game than last time, because I think Georgia now knows how Alabama's going to plan to attack them. They'll be able to make some adjustments. However, I do still think Alabama wins the game. I think Alabama wins the game 35-27. They win by 1 touchdown. By doing the things I said, I think Will Anderson is going to be able to get in the backfield and get to Stetson Bennett, potentially even forcing some turnovers. I think Bryce Young is going to be able to have another good game and makes a lot of plays in the air against that Georgia defensive secondary. Because as we've seen, Alabama is a balanced offense. If you take the pass game away, they can beat you with the run. If you take the run away, they beat you with the pass. Georgia is great at taking away the run. They're top 2 in the nation in that. So I got confidence they will take away the running game with Brian Robinson. But that just leaves the best quarterback in the country back there to pick that secondary apart, and I think he does it. And I think Alabama wins again. Never doubt Nick Saban when he's on that sideline, especially when he's playing against one of his former assistants. He's going to know what they're thinking. He's going to know what to do. He's going to know how to make adjustments. Alabama wins their 2nd straight national championship, on their way to a 3rd, because most of these guys are coming back next year. Well, how scary is that for the rest of the country? That's my prediction. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you want to go check out my Patreon page, it's right here. You can go check it out by clicking this link here. Once again, I ask that you please subscribe if you haven't. If you like this video, give me that thumbs up. If you want to hear my preview of the Georgia-Alabama SEC championship game where I had more stats thrown in, you can check this video right here out. And by the way, I did pick Alabama to win. I appreciate you tuning in.